Welcome back to the Chop Shop. This is Aaron.
And I'm Damon, super excited to finally kick off some NFL draft stuff. Always so promising with the young rookies.
Yeah, this is your thing. I know you love draft season. So
Yeah, I do. Oh, the whole
I'm a
off season anyway. The news just hits like crack. Doing
yes.
the draft night stuff too, where we all get together and like watch the first round it's
Yeah.
so special to me, truly. Like
Yeah.
I love it. I love
I,
draft night, draft
I
season.
think when I started taking football a lot more seriously, it was when I started to really fall in love with the draft. Early
I
on in my
remember when I was a kid, I said, "What kind of fucking dork pays attention to the draft?" Or something similar to that when I was in like middle school or something, and I was like, "Oh my god, bro!
now you're doing an
If you
episode
could."
on your show about it.
Oh yeah, my podcast where I talk football. Uh, Middle school Damon would be wildly embarrassed.
And adult Damon loves it. So
He doesn't give a fuck, honestly.
let's go. Well, yeah, we got I was about to say a lot to cover. Not really, actually. We're going over
Be
some of
enough,
our
man.
yeah, we're going over some guys we like on the offensive side of the ball today, and covering a few other things too. So we will eventually get to that. I did actually want to catch you by surprise here off the top of the show. There's this Bleacher Report article that I
Oh,
kind
we're
of wanted to
starting
go
with
over
this.
with it. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
What's it say?
At the top, baby. Okay, so for everybody, I did preface it to Damon a little bit, but I didn't tell him any of the contents. The list is ranking the 10 best NFL rosters after early 2026 free agency, and this article is titled March 16th, 2026. So this is 2 days old now, as of the recording of this. So 3 days if you listen to when this episode drops.
So before the Chargers trade for AJ Brown. Sorry that's not updated yet.
And mind you, this is rosters. I don't know why. After I read it, was thinking of offenses, and then, no, this is entire rosters.
Oh, okay.
10 best NFL rosters. Honorable mentions: Baltimore Ravens,
Fine. I mean, it's got Lamar.
New England Patriots,
Same statement.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Come on, man, you gotta
Dude, they don't even have a
try.
quarterback yet.
You
Like,
gotta
they have
try.
Rodgers in theory. What do you mean honorable mention? They weren't even good last year. Like, they were fine. I'm gonna rage at that.
Putting them in the same area as the Baltimore Ravens is
They
just
lost their MVP,
crazy.
Kenneth Gainwell, bro. Like, they're fucked.
Mind you, that was before this too. So
I'm glad they're
they
what's
knew
up?
that. That was
Oh,
before
yeah,
this
yeah.
article. They knew. Yeah, that's the honorable
Unmoved by
mentions. That's
Tampa.
what we're in for here. Those are all on the same
At
level,
least it's
according.
not number 10, man. Like,
No, for
that's
sure.
probably a Steelers fan who's just like, I need a shout, bro.
It does get better from there. Number 10 is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep. I mean,
I'm
who
not gonna
knows
read.
any honestly, who has any clue? Like, we could
Yeah,
just get another McCaffrey injury next year, and it'd just be curtains, but
100%. I'm not gonna read any of the contents underneath it. I mean, I don't really care what their justification is for this.
yeah,
I'm just gonna go
whatever.
off.
Unless there's
Nine
something important I should know, but
For sure. Them specifically, they were just talking about how Brock Purdy can ascend the talent on the roster. And I
and I like Purdy, so, like,
I do too, man. We're done with Purdy slander in 2026. I anybody that genuinely truly loves football and knows what they're talking about is not out on Purdy anymore.
yeah, he's like he's in a certain tier of quarterback that's plenty respectable,
Yeah.
so, like, I don't see the reason to like, I'd put him on, like, the Jalen Hurts tier, like,
Yeah.
you win games, you're not
A-
losing.
and those yak merchant jokes did go crazy back in the day, man. Don't get me
It
wrong.
was
I
true
get it.
back in the day.
I was there. Yeah.
Real shit.
Number 9, the Los Angeles Chargers.
I guess. I don't know. That's really tough to say. Who knows? Because the offense is obviously so iffy, and then it's at that point it's like, oh, I'm just picking it for Justin Herbert. It's like, I don't know. The lad I do think has the ability to bounce back and be elite as
That's
long as
part
we
of
don't
this.
sign Keenan Allen back. Hampton is sick. Gadsden's nice too. We have 2 great tackles. So I guess the offense is better than I'm giving it credit. But on the defense, we just have like barely any star power whatsoever. It's Derwin
Um,
and friends, really.
Yeah,
But
basically most of what you're saying there, they really heavily lean on Slater and Alt being back too.
yeah,
They lean on that. They say Lad McConkey and Hampton having spikes in their production is gonna, be a lot. And then they specifically call out just Khalil Mack,
he's sick.
Thule, Derwin, Dante Jackson. Big names that they're calling out.
Dante, okay. I mean, he was pretty quality last year, but I don't know.
Oh, actually, never mind. So the sentence actually is ball hawking cornerback Dante Jackson doesn't have resume accolades, though he has recorded 9 interceptions over the last 2 seasons.
He
So I
does
guess
get
they're
picked. Yeah,
they're not I guess they're not really glazing him like crazy, just
yeah,
kinda
and he's not
giving
even
him
bad either. Like he's played better than I thought for a while, but I don't see him as like a podium name like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This next one heavily just leans on the defense and then also is just really kind of asking for a bounce back from the quarterback. At 8, we have the Houston Texans.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, no line. The running back situation, I like Monty, but he's getting old. He's coming off an injury. Nico's like the really only viable weapon on as a receiver, but the defense is loaded. So
Yeah, and they don't even they only they call out Braden Smith and Monty together. They don't really, say a whole lot there.
they
They're
got
just
somebody
really
else too. They got Wyatt Teller. It might be a
yeah,
little better. It might be.
they're just really heavily, on Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter
Yeah,
here, just glazing them like crazy, rightfully so.
I mean they're
And
sick.
then Jalen Petrie as well.
He's nice. Stingley.
Um, yeah. Oh, but yeah,
Uh,
doesn't even need to be said. Number
Alshire's
7,
sick. He's really grown into his own too.
yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, and then, 7, we have my boys, the Bears. I don't agree with this.
No,
I absolutely don't.
no.
Um, this is just really leaning on, a leap from all of the youth on the offense,
Yeah,
is big,
I think so too.
and it's kinda really heavily, leaning on Joe Tooney not having any sort of decline. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I
I
mean,
don't
I think
know.
let me really work it out. Like, I do think
Yeah.
Colston can be a great tight end. Like, he's made great plays. He's got some drops issues sometimes, but he ultimately is super talented. So, like, if that happens, and then you consider Adunze as like I don't know, he kind of fell off a lot. I don't want to just assume he's going to make that leap. And then the same statement with uh other guy, what
Burden.
that guy. And then the running back room, I don't think it's super special. I mean, Swift is pretty nice, and Monungai's good too, but so offensively fine, but defensively, like, who?
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson and friends, and
Yeah. Um I like Kobe Bryant.
oh, he's nice too.
It's a cool addition. We'll see.
I like him.
I I'm not predicting that the defense is going to be better or anything, any stretch of the imagination. But what I will say is what we've lost in talent, we've gained in scheme fit, and there's something to be said for that.
That does help.
I don't think this is a top 10 roster in the league, though. Especially given the qualifier of pre-draft. I mean,
Sure.
well, they could draft themselves into looking back on this being a great roster towards the end of the year. I love Devin Bush. I think that's a great scheme fit, and he's awesome.
He
They're
picked up
calling out that.
Sanborn, man.
Yeah, just got Sanborn today. That's awesome. Depth piece, though. He's not fantastic. I just love how crazy that guy is. He's got a motor.
A lot of times, linebackers don't really need to be like all that anyway. Like, if
That's
they're good
true.
at like an individual thing, you tend to be able to make a living and an impact. So
My thing is, though, is the glaring need for literally every bit of defensive line help on this roster.
yeah.
It's not a top 10 roster, but
Maybe the first
um,
3 picks will be D-line.
yeah, hey, we'll see. Hey,
This
shout out
episode
Bleacher
for next
Report
week.
though, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Bleacher Report. That even though that kind of sucks and is giving whatever people hope. Number 6, Detroit Lions. I think last year this time I would have fully agreed with this, but
Yeah.
that offensive line's kinda getting old.
Yep.
I don't think we can really hang our hat or, as football fans, you can't really hang your hat on it like you used to be able to 2 or 3 years ago.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, uh, injury thing, whatever. I'm not gonna go in on that though, whatever.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
they have lost some pieces, but they did get a Cade Mays who I really like, and the tight end for the Chargers. What was his name? Yeah, Tyler Conklin, who had some moments last year. They went and grabbed him too, but those aren't huge impacts. But I think this is like one of the most star-studded lineups. So like when you think of like podium players, you get like Aiden Hutchinson, who's like one of the best edges in the league. Panay Sewell, who's like undoubtedly the best tackle. Gibbs, who's certainly top three, and then Amon Ra, who's also like top five. Like you kind of give it a lot more weight just because of like how good they are, rather than anything. But
And Goff gets a lot of respect as, like, that pure
yeah,
pocket passer today still. Yeah. I actually don't hate this one. I
I'm
like
okay.
as a Bears fan, I actually like Lions at 6 better than I like Bears at 7. Um,
Mhm.
so,
Plus
you
a
know,
lot of the Lions too, they lost, the 2 safeties they had last year, Brian Branch, who's, like, one of the best there too, and then, like, Kirby Joseph,
Kirby
right?
Joseph,
He's really
yeah.
good, he gets them a lot of, like, turnovers and stuff, so I think it kinda, like just every year they're losing pieces, but
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Um, that is a huge part of it, almost, the entirety.
Yeah, most of it, really.
5 is, Seattle.
Yeah, they're
I
awesome.
mean, crazy that it's 5 actually, but I kind of
Yeah.
understand it with a couple guys had to leave.
I don't know how they're gonna really improve their receiving room now that they extended Shaheed, and then I don't see the running back room getting better either, that's just kinda silly. Plus, like, they lost most of their secondary. I'm gonna trust Mike McDonald for the most part, but,
Yeah.
uh, 5 is probably alright, but they're
Yeah,
awesome.
maybe that defense doesn't look like that elite force that it did last year, but, I'm sure with that guy, it's gonna definitely at least be stable,
You're putting a lot of weight on the defensive-minded coach will figure it out, but I also think
Yeah,
it's kinda merited, so
fair. Number 4 actually is the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's I mean, because AJ Brown's currently right here still. So, it's tough to say, but if he gets traded out, like, that receiver room looks really bad. It's
Yeah,
Smith and whoever else. But, line's kinda falling apart. They still got pieces, though. Defense is still nasty, no edge, but they, uh they got Reek from the Seahawks, and I
yeah,
think that makes the secondary look a lot better.
yeah. Oh, this isn't updated for today. They just got Andy Dalton today, so now they'd be 1.
Oh, you should be higher, bro. Put the rifle in. They
Love
didn't
that.
lose anybody in that, did they?
No, it was for
Oh,
7th.
yeah, actually, they sent Jalen Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter, Nick Sirianni, and the Bell for the Red Rocket.
And they sent the Nick Foles statue over.
Oh, boy. Um, I probably agree, with these top 3. Uh, 3 is, the Buffalo Bills. Especially
Oh, I don't know. Ah,
with the
dude.
DJ Moore acquisition, I kinda get it. Now, maybe I don't maybe not 3, because now that even just the direct comparison I'm thinking in my head, I actually would probably put the Eagles roster above the Bills
Yeah, what do the
head to
Bills have
head.
left on defense?
Yeah, Ed Oliver.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, he is. He
Benford's
missed some
good.
time last year.
I guess
Yeah,
I mean, and they have some pieces. They got Cook, they re-signed McGovern is super important.
Dion Dawkins is
Kincaid's nice.
good.
What? Oh, he's
Um,
good. You know what? He's good too. You're right. They kinda got more on offense than I'm giving him credit for. And Keon
Bradley
maybe being
Chubb.
in a number 2 role might be good for him also.
I forgot they got Bradley Chubb.
He sucks. Fuck him.
I think it's a decent
I went
pickup.
off of that take for like a year, and I
Yeah.
regret it. I should have stuck with it.
Hey.
And they got him for 3
Um,
years
I
too.
I
What is that
I
shit?
Yeah.
They do that all
Um,
the time.
I I actually didn't like the deals that, either one of those Dolphins boys got. Um,
Yeah. You
Kinda
talking about
crazy.
Phillips, right?
Yeah.
His was a lot for sure.
Yeah, it was like
They're
what?
paying a premium.
It was like 4 years, 120, I think?
Yeah, I think he's getting like 30 a year or something.
Yeah,
I
I think
am okay with this though, because like Derek Brown's like a 1 there, so like he can be like a
yeah,
2. So uh, I've been hearing Stay Hot say like the money doesn't show up on Sunday, the player does. So like as long as it
that's
fits, it fits. But
yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
that also, and I mentioned it helping like Scorton last week or whatever, and I think that's the case too. So I think
That's
you
fair.
ultimately end up getting away with it. It is weird that they did this though, and then like didn't want to pay Brian Burns a couple years ago, but it's a
Yeah,
different part of of their careers, I guess. But
yeah,
whatever.
that's fair. Then
Oh,
CJ
so
Gardner
Bills were
Johnson.
3, right?
Yeah, CJ Gardner Johnson's a bill too, him and
Oh
DJ
shit.
Moore. Yeah, that was it.
I gotta
Yeah, I
stop
think he
being
got
so
like $2
mean to him.
million. dollars.
His teams always succeed for some reason. Just some, he's got some aura, dude. He's like the
I
Tom
guess.
Brady of defenders.
For 2, what do you think?
I'd probably sound like the Chiefs or some stupid
Uh,
bullshit.
Chiefs are not in this top 10.
Good, good.
Number 2, the
But
Denver
in that
Broncos.
contract, it's the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I mean, they're lined elite. Cortland's still awesome. They just went and got Waddle. I don't know if that's on there.
Okay, this is after Waddle,
Okay.
okay. So,
Yeah, which we may as well get into the Waddle of it. What do you feel about this trade?
it feels hefty, it feels
Yes.
like a lot, at its face. Now, I always evaluate it by a couple things, and this is the reason I didn't spiral into an instant depression after the Chase Claypool trade. It's, was
It
anybody
could
else
have been
going to
worse,
pay
boys.
this? Was anybody else willing to pay this in the league? And if I look around the league right now and I look at that deal, absolutely, there's plenty of other teams that are pulling the trigger on this 100%. Um, would I be happy if my team did it? Now, I'm saying my team as in, not me, Aaron, a Bears fan,
Sure.
just,
But
just an
whatever
independent
neutral
body.
team you root
E
for.
Exactly. Would I
Yeah.
be happy? It really kinda depends on the situation. If I were a Broncos fan specifically, I really kinda would be here. I don't
Yeah,
even really care that much about the price because they, as a fan base, they've been begging for this move for literally 3, 4 years now.
and you're not spending 30 million on Alec Pierce too, and, like
No.
and that's, like, the same mold of player too, and, like, I'd say he's, like, a proven step above that, and, like, he is making decent money, but I do feel you though, because I was wrestling with this too, because I initially my reaction in the group chat and stuff was like, if the Chargers did this, I'd be happy. This is a move we should make. But like
Mhm.
the more I thought about it, it's like that is I don't know, it's kind of a lot in a way though. Like you're trading a pretty invaluable late first. Like I feel like most people don't like the draft selections in that region. So it's something you'd be looking to trade back from anyway. And then they're losing a third and then what, like the fourth swap. So I don't know. I think I feel like the late first is a little overvalued by some.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
like, I'm kinda
that's
okay
okay,
with
that's
it in the
fair.
end, but it does feel like a lot.
I Another piece of context that I have to go into with this is, depending on the fan base, you have different reactions to trading mid draft picks, like mid-level draft picks. Like, it's funny to bring them up as a example, because they do love trading picks and they even have the "fuck them picks" mentality.
Oh, I wonder
But
what you're talking
if
about.
if I'm if I'm a Rams fan, I am very seriously looking at trade what like maybe negatively looking at deals with third and fourth round, like trading away for the third and fourth round picks
Mhm.
because they get a lot of value out of those picks.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm a fan
Right,
of a
all of them.
team, yeah,
Fuck it.
if I'm a fan of a team that has had a bunch of stinkers in that level anyway, I don't give a shit. Especially if we need a receiver. So like, there's a lot of context that goes into this. So just looking at being a Broncos fan, I would be excited because you finally got it. It's finally there. people have their outlook on Waddle. I know he's kind of gotten the overrated label within the last couple years, and I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of guys within. I think I like the trade for the room as a whole, and not even just getting Jalen or getting Waddle in there. You kind of already had some guys that are slept on around the league, and this just only elevates them because now defensive eyes are going to be on Waddle. So
And,
yeah,
like, you have a scheme that's been, like, so massively dependent on, like, Marvin Mims and fucking, other dude from Oregon, what's his name?
the rookie this year,
Yeah, or last year or whatever.
Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin, and it's like those guys just aren't gonna get that done, but now you throw Waddle into that and, like and I do think Bo is, like, a little like, some people are a little bit overly critical on his deep ball. I think he's got a pretty good deep ball, and I think that with Jalen Waddle could really do some numbers. Now they just need a running back, but
Yeah, I'm dumb. This was Troy Franklin's second year. Huh. Well, he had
yeah,
500 more yards this year than he did last year, so maybe
NBA
that's why.
freshman year or rookie
Yeah.
year. Wait, he
um,
played last year? No way.
yeah. So I love how we've been on number two for a while now because this was a big deal. But yeah, I
We got
do
the discussion
overall.
we wanted to anyway, so
For sure, yeah, and,
who's one? The Rams?
I do love that trade to sum it up, though, but yeah, number 1, correct, the Los Angeles Rams, and they do heavily lean on the fact that, and we've been saying it for weeks on in a row on this podcast, they just very much aggressively attacked a need, so,
Oh, as aggressively as you could. Like, they're probably
yeah,
gonna draft one too, like, they
yeah.
want that. They want the Super Bowl next year, and I think that they're primed and ready to get it too, so,
Yeah,
as
so
long as
I don't
Stafford
even really think
keeps
we need
playing.
to discuss them being number 1 a whole lot, I mean, you even guessed it, it's pretty obvious,
Yeah,
but, yeah,
I'm sure Seahawks fans will hate that, but
for sure. The only main negative they really call out is, Rob, Havenstein, retiring, I'm sorry.
that does suck. Did you say a word?
I only said that.
Whoop, fine.
He's alive and well.
Real yeah, dying. Real quick, the Waddle side for the Dolphins, I would love this move if they didn't do the Malik Willis thing.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
every decision they make sense. Every decision that they have made makes sense, except for the Malik Willis thing. Like on top of all those things, like why are you paying this chance quarterback to have a nothing team? It just doesn't make a sense to me.
It's like they had 2 paths, as to where they could go this year. They could get off of Tua and get Malik in the building and kind of let him, try to navigate this roster maybe a little bit. Probably shed a little bit of talent for some compensation, sure, or gut the roster. They like are off-roading up the middle and then go on the road and tried a little bit
Seriously,
of both. You're like,
seriously.
"Ah."
We're gonna Malik. We'll pay you as much money as you want to be our bridge quarterback, please.
To just take the
Yeah,
fall for his. You can suck, dude. We don't care. We'll
yeah, we
play you.
don't care.
We'll play
We
you. We'll pay you everything.
please play us out of a top 5 pick, please, Malik Willis. I'm begging you.
Man.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Literally, at
It
this point, just run Skylar Thompson out there. What are you doing?
genuinely, or like,
Like,
g- I mean, Steelers might let him go for a first round pick, but go get Mason Rudolph. It's like gold
they're
over there.
crazy. More for a first rounder, he's a quarterback. Is he like 30? Started 4 games or something? How old is Mason Rudolph?
We have a lot of Steelers fan friends. I'm sorry, guys. I think that's the
We
third
have
Josh.
been ripping them to
This is
pieces this episode.
the third time. I'm sorry.
If it
They're
helps, I don't think
catching
AJ
strays,
checks it out, so we're chilling. He might for the draft stuff just to see if we actually know ball.
right? Yeah, we haven't even gotten into the draft stuff yet.
Bro, you don't have any idea what Maui Noah is like. You have no clue. You haven't watched him play, bro. Alright,
Oh boy.
enough dumb shit. Do you have any other random headlines we wanna talk about before we get rolling into this?
Just quickly, just because it is a big deal and it was fun this year. World Baseball Classic was fun.
Oh, dude, I
I
watched
know.
all of it.
Ugh. You wanna get into it for a little bit?
Yeah, man, what
Alright,
the
let's do it.
fuck?
Yeah.
Is this like home run or bust nonsense an American problem, or is that just baseball now?
Um, it was an American problem this run for sure.
It seems
Yeah.
like it.
I just
Dude, even when we finally came back and made it 2-2 is because of a walk and then a home run. And you get these like massive, like, I don't know a whole lot about baseball and I don't know all the issues with the team and whatever, but getting 3 hits is
yeah.
horrible.
Well, a lot of it has to do with being single game elimination tournament baseball.
Yeah,
It's
I get that.
it's the only thing like it. I it was just really cool this year, even, being from the US, seeing
Oh, yeah, I
Venezuela
mean, I don't care
win.
about that, but
Yeah.
go
Eh,
Venezuela for all I give a fuck.
it was fun. It is crazy to have heartbreak 2 classics in a row because the last, WBC, I think 2023 was, the heartbreak loss to Japan.
Yeah, wasn't that
Um,
Shohei versus, Mike Trout or something? That's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. Awesome
I didn't give a
stuff.
fuck at all, so I didn't get
And
to really witness it.
now you very slightly
I got into it at least, dude. I watched
Yeah,
that game sucked. I was like, I
wasn't
couldn't
good.
believe how long I went just like not watching us do anything, and then like
Yeah,
literally being able to see the shot, the home run shot, because it was the third straight inning where with 2 outs we got a guy on first base with the
yep.
tying run at the plate, and then I was like, dude, we're built to do this shit. We have to extend 1 yard, like eventually.
Yeah,
Bang! I waited the whole game to see that,
Bryce
and I was
Harper.
like hoping that we could have a chance, but
Didn't
dude, that
work out, man.
I don't remember what his name was, the guy that stole that bag in the ninth inning, that was
I don't
so
even remember.
clutch.
Yeah, I don't even remember,
I don't remember
but
his name, but
it was a lot of fun. You and I watched the Dominican Republic and US game together. Wasn't a whole lot of, like, crazy excitement in that game, but I really liked how it always felt like it was about to break open, you know?
dude, it was stressful, and then it
The
just never did.
suspense was crazy. Um,
I saw
yeah.
somebody call, Aaron Judge the Justin Herbert of baseball, and that's pretty nice. That's that's pretty nice to Justin Herbert, actually, so
I
I'll
was
take
gonna
it.
say Aaron Judge has made a World Series, man.
Yeah, literally, like, I just but they said it
Oh,
because
jeez.
they're just calling him a choke
Yeah.
artist. That's why it was pretty funny. I was like, "All right, man. Herbert's working on a fucking playoff win, bro. Like, you can leave him out of it."
I saw this one that said Aaron Judge when the lights are on, and it's this kid that's in a batting cage, and he's standing there, and, like, you see the ball get ready to shoot out, and then everything goes in slow motion, and the ball very slowly just passes by him. It doesn't swing. It's like a 45-second video. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Dude, that's
wasted all
so
that
good.
time."
Speaking of the
Yeah.
Justin Herbert thing, I saw a graphic that, like, made me laugh because it made me so angry. It was like, who has more like, I think the question was, who needs to win it all most this year? Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, or Josh Allen? I was like, "Bro, we're still working on a playoff win. You need to chill
Hey!
the fuck out. Why are you bringing my boy into this?" And, like, I know it's to get reactions in the comments, and that makes it fucking worse. Leave him alone.
Oh god. They saw that dude start dating Madison Beer, and they're like,
Dude,
"Alright."
instant superstar.
They
Bro, so
fu
when are you winning a ring? Are you getting sized yet or what?
Well, that, and then also now they're just like, okay, it's like the such an elevated celebrity thing that, like, you can just say whatever to it's like people
Yeah,
call Drake a P word, because it's like, what was it's like it's like
we
the
Rebo.
untouchable.
God, I but like I said, like, just hilarious and angry at the same time seeing that graphic. I couldn't believe it. And I went to the comments, of course, to check it out, and it worked exactly as it intended.
Yeah,
They were like,
always does. Just like people still
"What?"
talking about Caleb Williams' nails. Oh, oh, this is
Yeah,
me. Oh, well,
literally.
you're just insecure, and I
Yeah,
know how
like,
I look.
alright, bro. Enough rage bait talk.
Right.
What position do we wanna start with quarterbacks, or do you wanna save it for last?
I actually kind of do, mainly because yes, everybody puts quarterback on a pedestal, but it's talk of the town. We know what this class is quarterback wise.
Yeah, I mean, there's we like had to force a three. We wanted to talk about three. So like what I have here on the list is as my top three is I got Fernando obviously, then Ty Simpson equally obviously, and then I think Garrett Nussmeier is kind of really solidifying that third one. I don't know if you agree with that one, but
Yeah, one thing I do, I wanted to just want to clarify here at the top, just for the audience a little bit. We're just really looking at prospects here. We're
sure.
not gonna really tie them to teams. It might come up a little bit, but that's not really the focus here. We're just looking at the guy at his core, what his archetype is, and yeah,
Some
what he's
obvious
gonna
ones,
bring to
like
the
we're gonna
league.
talk about Fernando on the Raiders, and
I'm That's done.
right. I mean, we may as well bring that up.
Even with like the Tyler Linderbaum move just completely solidifies it as well. So,
Right.
yeah, it's
So
yeah, we don't gotta lean into it, but
so what are you
um,
seeing with Fernando? What do you think his main takeaway is?
yeah, I want you to kind of speak on this a little bit. Maybe we
Okay.
can. W- I'll let you finish up with the label he's kind of gotten, but I'll talk a little bit about a couple things. He really good at hitting open targets. One very major pro always comes up with him. You're not going to see these crazy overthrows. He's accurate quarterback. Hits receivers in stride. Make sure we don't lose any of that speed. Make sure we get as many yards after catch as possible. And then one major con. This isn't the label thing I was talking about, but below average pocket mobility. I think I don't think bad enough to really call out to where it's a glaring weakness. He's not going to be able to. He's too skittish for the NFL. Nothing like that. Just below average pocket mobility.
Yeah. I saw
Nothing to
that
write home
too
about.
when I was watching, and I was thinking, I was like, "Am I just hating? Like, or does he seem like a little bit limited?" And like he
Just
can
a
make
little
stuff happen. I'm not shitting on like he
bit.
made the big play in the championship, and it was awesome. But then once I watched like Ty Simpson after, I was like, "Oh yeah, no, definitely, he's a little bit slow there." But
Just a little below average, and that's not even one of the major cons that a lot of people are really bringing up. I'm not gonna lie, there really isn't a huge list of cons with Mendoza. It really just at the end of the day comes down to does he have a lot of it is like the it factor people bring up.
yeah,
What is really special about him and things of that nature. Um, I won't get into the grade too crazy, but they give prospect grade 5.5 to 8. It breaks it down like 10 different categories, but to limit that, 5.5 is the low end, 8 is like the perfect prospect.
mhm.
They're giving Mendoza a 6.73 grade, which is like fine to start right away.
You happen to see
Um,
any others? I don't know this metric very well, so
just for comparison, well, you already called it out. We're calling Simpson and Nussmeier. Simpson's got a 6.3, Nussmeier's got a 6.0. So he's a little bit above them at
okay,
6.73. Simpson, that 6.3 level is like a can be a really good starter one day. The 6.0 line I think was like decent, like high level backup.
okay,
So
all right.
yeah, I wanted you to speak on the label he's kind of been getting, the RPO merchant
The
thing. I know
RPO merchant.
you and I have kind of talked about this specifically a little bit. You're actually the one that kind of opened my eyes a little bit to it more. So I wanted you to speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I do. I do think that's a lot of it, and he was on a very well coached team, and he had really good receivers. Like we're going to be talking about one of them later on, and the other two were no slouch on the outside as well. And I think there were times where he got really reliant on those receivers, which to his credit, he's really good at it. There was a lot of plays where he would be throwing like the back shoulder fade, which I think is mostly a receiver thing, but like it was always like right where it needed to be on like the opposite shoulder and everything. And I think he does maybe benefit schematically, and I feel like he does also, like, feel a little bit limited, not only, like, in mobility, but he also, like, can't really like, his arm isn't, like, the best, but, he gets a lot of Joe Burrow comps, and I think that that's, like, a lot, like but I can't I just feel like they're the same type of quarterback coming out of college. Joe Burrow was just, like, way better at it.
Yeah.
And, to his credit, he also had 2 receivers that were, like, ended up being top 5 NFL receivers. So, like, makes it easier to do that. So, like, if he could possibly hit that ceiling, I think there's a lot to worry about with it, but, like, I do think he crosses that, like, definitely franchise quarterback potential threshold that, like, allows him to be a 1-1. I'd really compare him to, like, where Cam Ward was seen last year, where, like, I feel like Cam Ward actually was kinda dropped in rankings last year where he was, like, getting around, like, 10th or so, but they just knew he was going first, whereas Mendoza, I feel like, is also like, actually getting the credit as, like, a first overall, so he might even be a little bit better than that, so, uh,
Mhm.
there's some limitations, but I think he gets the job done. He's a fantastic leader, and that's kind of one of his highlights is people talk about the social aspect of it. He's got that nailed down, and yeah, no, I think he's good. I think a lot of quarterbacks are kinda schemed around anyway, and if they're not,
Um,
they're usually project.
yeah, and I'm glad you spoke to him being an awesome dude too, because
Yeah,
everybody
that
talks
helps.
about that. It really does. It really does. Just locker room guys are really a thing too. I mean, I even texted you about a locker room free agent signing Chargers made, and just things like that. They matter.
Tony Jeff, the GOAT.
Yeah, Tony
You guys
Jefferson
are
for the 2 milli. But
he really
yeah,
wanted
like
that guaranteed money, man. I hope it's fully guaranteed, bro.
I think it was. I could be wrong,
Good.
but
I mean, it's 2,000,000. How can you not
yeah,
fully guarantee
lit
$2,000,000? I mean, I guess if
literally.
it's paid up front, but still, chill.
Uh,
But
yeah, but, and really removing, like, the obvious thing, with what I'm about to say here. I think Mendoza, it really depends on what kind of situation he would be going into. I really think there would be, a gr I hate saying this because really it's anybody. I think he really could greatly benefit from, just maybe even a little bit of time just to kinda sit. Um, uh,
uh,
I that's
I mean, I
that's
think
me.
anybody could, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's entirely necessary.
No, fully fair, but
Just give him that, like, first year grace, that first overall like, we have to remember that this team really sucks, and then just, you know, let him fail the
yeah.
first year, whatever.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then putting myself back into the obvious situation, I do think the Raiders are setting themselves up in a good position to do that for him.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm excited to watch him. I am.
The center's
I
gonna
want
help a lot, and,
a
it's gonna help with, like, the Genty of it all too, and they should really be able to open that offense. Plus Clint Kubiak coming in, that's you're right. I think they could be putting themselves in good position. I don't wanna, like, get too into it because I sucked the Raiders off last year, but
Yeah, we did. We both did.
I sure did. But, whatever.
Um, for sure. But last thing I'll say on it is this class has gotten a pretty bad rap quarterback wise, and I
Looks
think
horrible.
and I think people have attributed the huge quarterback need in the league right now and bad quarterback class with this is a reach, and I don't necessarily think so. I think that's kind of fair to
For
him. I
Mendoza?
think, yeah,
Uh,
I've seen that a lot.
have you? That's
I
that's kinda
have.
crazy to me.
I've seen that. I guess I should say I was seeing it more early on. After
I
it
can see
became
that.
after it became clear that it was the Raiders and everything, I haven't seen it as much.
Right. I
And
guess
I
that
guess I
kinda
really
happened with, like, Cam Ward too.
mhm. I g I guess I probably haven't seen it as much since the championship too, so maybe they just kinda stopped after that, which would
I don't
probably
know.
shut
People
anybody
doubted
up.
IU all the way until we won it. Well, until they won it all. So, like,
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah. Oh, well, but yeah, I'm excited to watch him and, ready to also move on to, um, another guy who, man, I want you to speak. I really I can't get a grip on Ty Simpson. I can't. For me
I
personally, I don't know how I feel about Ty Simpson.
I see my thing about Ty Simpson is like I'm almost ignoring the second half and like the fall off because like because I know there was an injury and he got really like sloppy in that too and I know that but I think he looked really good. I've heard a lot about him. He's got limited snaps and that makes you like iffy on whether or not you want to draft him high. But I think he's got like opposed to like Mendoza. I think he's really a really natural scrambler. I think he is always able to scramble around, and he's like an active creator. He can make stuff happen with his feet all the time. I think he's really good at like working the sideline, and I think he's good at like throwing off platform to hit those types of throws. And I This is all just stuff I saw watching him, and he sort of fell off the second half of the season, and in, like, big moments, he was falling off, and he shows some weaknesses where, like, he's not exactly great under pressure, he tends to make a lot of mistakes, but, like, that does just come from reps, but most of the time when you're drafting a guy who has limited starts, you're drafting him because they have this, like, high-end athletic potential. For him, it's more just, like, he has a few starts, but he's shown that he has, like, a veteran, like, savvy and, like, an IQ for the game, so I don't I think a team would love to take him late first. He might end up getting going a little bit earlier than that because of, the quarterback boost for draft value, but, not that he is, like, necessarily, like, a first round graded prospect, but I think somebody will Jackson Dart him and take him round 1.
Yeah, a lot of what you were speaking on towards the end of that, like looking like an aged guy at such a young age, like he plays like he's older than what he is. He's got a great rhythm for the
Yeah,
game.
he
It's
feels
it,
like the pocket and everything for the most part. I mean, like,
yeah.
obviously, when he's getting like, drowned in pressure, it's a lot different, and he'll learn that, but I th I mean
Yeah, and I like him. They NFL had him prospected. The grade was 6.3, projected to eventually be a plus starter. Um, Major comparison they called out was Mac Jones.
okay. I saw,
Um,
like, Bo Nix out of them.
Dan Orlovsky specifically says Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I mean, they're similar too. I could see Brock Purdy for sure.
Yeah,
Either of the 2. I just feel like Bo is, like, such a natural scrambler, and I kinda saw that with Ty Simpson.
yeah. Um,
But, any I mean, real quick, I mean, do we have any other back end of the teams that might like him?
yeah, I really want the Steelers to get him for some reason. I don't think that's necessarily what's going to happen.
That would be great.
I would love it. I really would. I'm damn near begging them to at this point. I think they need to take some sort of risk at quarterback because it's just enough's enough.
The
The
fans are
fans are
just so
sick of. They're
scarred.
sick of it. They're so sick of it. We're sick of it. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers again, man.
Dude, seriously. And
If
they're
I
just so
see Aaron
scarred from
Rod,
the Pickett stuff, man.
yeah.
But you just gotta try again, man. It's not the same. It might be the same, but it's not the same.
If I see Aaron Rodgers again, you
Then
needed
I'll
to have
watch
taken Ty Simpson in the first round.
it,
That
honestly.
that's it. Like, that's the only way I'll watch a game if you take Aaron Rodgers again, is if you took Ty Simpson to sit.
And you know a pick that'll never happen that I think would be a good back end?
Hmm.
I think it'd be cool if the Panthers took him because 'cause they're not super stoked on Bryce Young.
No.
They got time to let him develop a little bit more if they feel that's necessary. They're in that, like, playoff team area. He's got, like, Ted McMillan to fall back on. They just tendered Coker as well. Uh, I'd like that, but
The only thing I don't like about that is the fact that Bryce will be on his 5th year this season,
mhm.
and I
You
almost
have to
feel
make
like
that
you're
decision quick.
yeah, and I
Yep,
almost feel like even if the decision is Bryce, you might sever the tie just even by taking a quarterback first round. He
true.
might not like,
I
you know
guess
what I
with
mean?
Rodgers, he just went on, like, an MVP revenge tour, so,
Yeah.
maybe it would be a
Yeah,
little early to do it for Bryce when he's starting to show something. And that like I said, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna start making picks towards
for
winning the
sure.
Super Bowl because they
Yeah.
can always win their division, and they came close to beating the Rams, but
After
and then the
making
Rams
that
are obviously a good one too, but, you know,
it would be really weird, and these don't really even fully relate in any way. I just would look kind of weird to me for some reason, that Jalen Phillips deal and then immediately taking a quarterback. I don't know why, like,
that
it
would be
just would
funny.
Yeah, it just, like, doesn't fit together for some reason, but I don't know.
You could
Um,
pretend you're paying 30 mil a year to a quarterback and you just drafted an edge rusher.
Shut up. And then your quarterback's a rookie who kinda sucks,
You
and you're paying him 30,000,000.
And it also rips your locker room apart from the seams. Sounds
Yeah,
like a
so
quality pick.
Damon no longer believes what he said.
I've given
Actually,
in
would
to the internet hot take. I'm unstoppable at this point. I'll
right,
say anything.
right.
So,
Um,
we can probably move on to,
yeah,
it was a lot trying to pick a 3rd one. I've been really consistently seeing Nussmeier, so I'm cool with picking him, but, like, we're moving past even, like, day 2 guys at this point. I think Nussmeier has a chance to be, like, a Tyler Shuck type pick, but it would take a team would have to literally fall in love with him, but I think that that's possible too. Have you seen a lot about Nussmeier,
he's
or?
got the arm talent.
Yeah, I think he, like a lot of what he's got too is he's got, like, IQ for the game. His dad, I think, is the OC for the Saints, and, like, he plays like somebody whose dad is an offensive coordinator. He, like, has a high
Mm,
IQ. He just his issue is that, like, he makes really bad decisions when making pressure, kinda the same as Ty Simpson, and, a lot of the thing too is that he's just not quite athletic enough to make up for, like, he tries to play like he's super athletic, like, he'll, like, run around in the pocket, but then he just end up getting caught. He's got a 19% pressure to sack rate. Uh, it's just tough to see, and it's very, who else was like this? I think Spencer Rattler was originally like this.
one positive I will say sack-wise, though, is he doesn't hold the ball long and take bad sacks.
Yeah.
Pressure to sack ratio, bad.
Yeah.
But he doesn't hold the ball terribly long. He can get it out quickly. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's using his arm. His arm talent is a lot of his game.
Mhm.
One note I do have in here: forces circus throws.
Yeah. No, that's part of that, that pretend, like, trying to play like a more capable athlete, and it just doesn't happen, but, he apparently had, like, a really, really great Senior Bowl, was super fantastic there, but, throughout the year, he got hurt and was battling through that, and he had to deal with horrible play calling from Brian Kelly. He, uh he got benched against Bama, and that was, like, a big storyline. He ended up going, like, in that game, I think he went for, like, 19 for 22, all RPOs and screens, but he just, like, never got the ball downfield because the play calling just wasn't giving him a chance to, and a lot of times I'll bet on the play caller in that situation, like, something that we don't, but
Yeah,
it was almost like, "Why are you even benching him? He's doing exactly what you wanted him to," and
yeah,
I don't know, but he's also got super small hands, which is a big no-no, but
yeah. I just think there's too many ifs. Like if he can figure out the turnovers, if he can, not
yeah,
take, handle pressure a little bit better, if he can be a little bit more physical. There's too many ifs for it to really justify viewing him as a any sort of benefit to your roster immediately or drafting him as your idea for the future. Drafting him as a guy to keep around, maybe has as like a high end backup if that's what he is. Sure, I mean, go for it. But I think you're totally correct in saying that to take him at any sort of meaningful position, you have to just be completely in love with him, and people are
yeah.
probably gonna make fun of you for it.
You're right, you're gonna get ripped to pieces on Twitter, but, if you got, like, a specific backup role you want, yeah, go for it, fuck it.
Yeah,
Uh, I think he'll be a
yeah.
great clipboard guy, and he might end up like Kellen Mooring and just graduating to an OC or whatever, but I had,
There was an there
anything
was
else on
somebody else that
Nussmeier?
just did that too,
Huh?
that was just in the league for like 3 years and then, like, just became an OC.
Who did that?
I don't remember who it was. It was this past offseason that, oh, well, I'll remember when it doesn't matter.
There was a guy who's the Eagles coordinator now. He was on, like, the Packers. I can't remember, Mannion, and
I
then
think that might be who I'm
there was
thinking of.
another guy too. I don't know. It happens every now
Oh, well.
so often.
Yeah.
Any
Um,
more on him?
Not necessarily. We can move on.
I wanted to just real quick. Taylon Green had a really sick combine, and I want to discuss him for a second.
Okay.
So he's looks like a super athlete basically, and he's been asked to switch positions, and he said he's not going to do that. Yada yada, all that stuff. So what I found is I found a bunch of open throws and not that creative rushing ability, more like just like picking a hole and just being able to like run straight line there. So like, there might be something for him. I don't see him building into anything or being a worthwhile project. But do you watch him at all? I
Not
kind of just
necessarily, no. I
I just
didn't.
saw the combine stuff, and I mean he's going to be like a round 7 flyer or whatever. But
See what happens.
all right, what do you want to move on to?
Um, Up to you. I'll let you navigate.
Well, okay, we can talk about running backs next. So that's next on my list, going in regular
We could
order.
do that.
You wanna
Yeah.
gush about Jeremiah Love for a minute because we both definitely have him at number 1.
Yeah, both my boys are on here actually to give you a little sneak peek or
Oh,
give the people at home a sneak peek. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was checking out the NFL prospect profile for Jeremiah Love. I was pretty shocked at how little they glazed him. They gave him a Gibbs comparison. That's glazing, I guess.
yeah. I've heard that a couple times, though. I've heard a Gibbs comparison.
Fernando Mendoza is a higher graded prospect,
They're giving him the
which
quarterback boost.
that's probably true. That's probably true.
Is it him
Uh,
and then Love or no?
I don't. I actually don't know.
What are you
But
basing
and
this
it
off of? Do you remember?
just the score, and
Oh, okay.
they have the same. They don't. I don't believe they separate prospects. Like they score them all across the board. I don't think they
Hmm.
like quarterbacks, running or
Am I
anything like that.
sleeping?
It's
Oh,
just
no. Oh,
but
God. Maybe
they
Love's just terrible.
right. It's marginal though. I just wanted to make my headline really really quick, but yeah, Mendoza 6'7" 3, Loves a 6'7" 1, so basically the same prospect.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
one
didn't
of the
realize Jeremiah Love is a state champion sprinter.
no shit. I mean,
He
he
won a
is
state.
wicked fast, so I believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, I think just the one thing I will say about Jeremiah Love is they're really just the biggest weakness about him is the fact that you never feel like you're in the position that you just have to get him off the field.
Yeah,
He's just
and
a
yet
3
they
down
do, isn't
back,
that
man.
crazy?
Yeah, right. Well, Jadarian Price is so good, spoiler,
You may as well
that
sell
you
him.
have to get him on the you have to get him on the field. So it's like,
Yeah.
um, but
I think that's even
I it,
better for his draft profile because 'cause he's got less tread on the tires or whatever.
yeah,
You can get more
for
value out of a running back that way.
it depends on how you view it. And we'll get into Jadarian Price a little bit, but I do want to say that Notre Dame had the perfect duo here.
Yeah.
Literally,
Oh,
every
yeah.
bit of Jadarian Price's weakness is Jeremiah Love's upside. Like it was just the perfect duo. As a Notre Dame fan, I'm incredibly scared losing both of them in the same season.
I'm
Moving
sure they'll
forward into
figure it
next
out,
season,
but
they will.
man, it's
And
tough.
I'm sure CJ Carr is going to improve like crazy this year. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, with Jeremiah Love, they actually use that as a negative. One of the major things they bring up is he's only had more than 20 carries 3 times.
Yeah. And it's kinda because he didn't need it. He just, like, has so many explosive plays that, like, he there was multiple first play of the game touchdowns for him where he just, like, took it, like, 60, 70 yards, like, he just
Jeez.
didn't need to.
No. Yeah, so that's it, I could see that being twisted either way. They kind of seem to use it as a con. Um, it really just kind of depends on who really wants him. Now, me, if I were evaluating him, all of the pros that I see on his game, I'm not using that against him. I'm just not. He's an incredible player. And I'll even let my last thing be the same thing I said because I think it's just such a point of his game. You never feel like you're in a situation where it's like, man, we just got to get this guy off the field. He's great in pass protection. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. It's just multifaceted player. I'm very sad as a Notre Dame fan to see him go. Very excited to watch him
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Hopefully he doesn't go to a super lame team, but, no, I really like him. I think he's got, like, the speed of Gibbs, but I think he moves almost like Bijan with that, like, almost like basketball player type athleticism.
Mhm.
So I really like a lot from him, and he can catch out of the backfield the way he needs to. He, like, took all of that work from Jadarian Price, so it wasn't a problem, and like I said, I think having less tread on the tires is good for him, and, we'll see where he goes. I mean, when, PFF here has him mocked, not mocked, they have him ranked the, 3rd in the class after, Arbel Reese and Fernando Mendoza, and so, yeah, we'll have to see how good he looks. Did you stub your toe?
No, I smashed my finger on my desk.
Oh,
That was really
shit.
cool.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
we move, baby.
You're having a hard time there, bud.
I uh I was so certain he was going to be a Chief.
I had
We'll
hope.
see.
I was like, "Nah, he's too good to be a Chief, sadly." They're gonna get hold on, who are they gonna get?
At least I know he's not going to be a Lion,
They're gonna get, like, Spencer Fano or something. Another name we'll talk about.
right?
Uh,
He
y
he very well might be
so
a Pecker or a Viking.
after
Uh,
after watching the running backs and stuff, we had an interesting conversation where we saw a lot of sources having Jadarian Price as the RB2 as well, the back-to-back Notre Dame boys. Did you end up, agreeing with that or no? It's a weak class,
it
so
is.
it's entirely possible.
It I have RB1 and then I kinda have the rest of the guys. It's
The
really
guy
hard to get it's
the
kinda hard to rank.
entourage.
Jadarian Price, I can't fully label as, like, RB2 of this draft because he kinda is a specific need. He's only gonna really fit a specific need, I think, for a team. I I think he could work for all 32 teams, but I think he is a guy that's just gonna get special attention from those teams that might be wanting to
Mhm.
maybe also have a guy that's on special teams returning. Um, so what I will say overall, if we're just going purely based on talent of the game, yes, I would say he's probably the second best running back, and NFL prospect grade does agree with me here, actually. Jadarian Price was graded as 6.38, which I don't know if that's the second highest rated running back of the class, but none of the others that we're discussing today have a higher grade. So
I'd assume you're probably right.
I'm guessing it's the second
That's
highest.
that's a lot of nothing in the class, so, like
Yeah.
and, I ultimately came to the conclusion, like, I don't think I can have him as my 2 because he just does not catch out of the backfield, and, like,
Yeah.
I don't think his pass protection's that great either, and it's just tough to have such a, like, single-use guy. Like, he is known as, like a more, like, pure runner, like, he's, like, a more, like, standard type of, like, running back, and, yeah, I think he's really good going north-south if you wanna put him in that, like, knuckles role or something if the
Yeah.
Lions wanted to find a way to grab him. I know they got Pacheco, but whatever. But,
Yeah.
I didn't end up having him as 2. I actually ended up having, Emmett Johnson as my 2 out of Nebraska. I think he's, not even necessarily a second round pick, but, I think he's, like, not only super shifty, but can run really hard. His only major knock is that he just doesn't have, like, top end speed, and
Yeah.
it takes
That's
him
what
a
I have.
second to get up, and but I also had that gripe against, like, Scatabo, and I was, like, entirely out on him because of that, and I just kinda, like, ate my words all season up until his injury, so, like, I'm willing to ignore that, and I feel like even when he makes, like, bad decisions, he just finds a way to make them right by, like, running through contact or doing whatever like, sometimes he'll bounce outside too early, and he'll just, like, make a move and beat somebody anyway, and he also does catch out of the backfield, but it's not, like, the biggest part of this game, but
I
he does
actually
do a good
had
job.
NFL prospect profile throw on there, lacking a little bit of size and power along with that top end speed.
Yeah,
And I think that size and maybe not size, but power is the reason why Cam Scatterbo does work.
that's true.
So I think that's kind of part of why. And we can meet in the middle somewhere, for me, m we what we saw out of Cam last year was actually pretty good. He looks like he's gonna
He
be a
was great.
capable back. Yeah, I think he's gonna be very capable.
There's no ifs, ands, or
Even
buts.
even if Emmett Johnson ends up kind of sizing up with that, but maybe falling short a little bit, I think you're still looking at a good capable player because, I
Mhm.
mean, how many
Even, like,
games they
Bucky
can't.
was seen as the same way, like, he was, like they, like, killed his career chance with, like, his RAS score and ended up being just fine,
Yeah.
but
So who knows? I think he looks fine. I definitely do agree with, this is kind of a weak running back class. I think
yeah.
he would be discussed amongst the top of any class, though. I do think he would be
Mhm.
discussed amongst the top. I don't know if we'd be talking about him like in your case as the second best guy, but
No.
he
He'd be a
belongs.
prayer, a late day prayer.
Yeah, I think he certainly belongs to be in this conversation regardless of, it being kind of a weak class, though. I
Mhm.
don't know if I'll go a little bit into Jadarian Pri did you have Price at 3?
Yeah, I'll give Price
Okay,
the 3 because I do think
got it.
he's one of the more natural runners too, so
So, I can jump into that just a little bit. They did have Javonte Williams comparison.
yeah,
Um,
I could see that.
so I don't think that's necessarily crazy. Now I did not realize, I really haven't been watching college football super long. Was
I'm not a big college guy.
we grew up in the Notre Dame area for everybody at home. That's why I'm a Notre Dame fan. I know it's a cliche, whatever, but
I
really only
also am
been
technically a Notre Dame fan, but I don't care that much.
I've really only consistently been watching Notre Dame football the last few years, but I didn't realize Jadarian Price had an Achilles rupture in 2022. So that's big.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either for until you brought it
So
up in pre-pod, I think.
the time between that helps his case a little bit. This isn't a recent thing, and he's shown to have, be consistently fine since then. Now, I think that mixed in with the fact that he's a career reserve backup, I think that hurts his draft, outlook a little bit.
Nah, nah, no tread. He's ready to roll. No, no, nah.
um
Anyway, good.
I do think those are 2 big key points. There's actually, as much as I do like Jadarian Price, and I probably would purely, just a lot of context removed maybe, but purely put him as my running back too. There's a lot of cons here that I are just red flags going off. The Achilles, the career backup thing, but also, the fumbled at the goal line 3 times last season,
I heard that. I
losing
heard
2
about
of
that too.
them. And I remember these. I remember
Yeah, I
these.
remember I feel like watched one happen and repressed it. When I read this, I was like, "That sounds right." I think I
I was like,
remember that
"Yeah, I
happening.
think I remember seeing this shit." Yeah,
Really rough. That's some Melvin
that's
Gordon
really
shit.
rough.
Pro comp Melvin Gordon. He
Huge
he
upside here, though, and at the end of the day, it kind of subsides a little of those cons. Really huge special teams upside with him. 22 career kickoff returns, 3 of them were touchdowns.
and I
It's
think
pretty
special
s
teams gonna get a lot more valuable too, especially
It
in
is.
the return game, and I think a lot of running backs are gonna start doing it too because it's more of a running back skill set, like, making it a receiver is kinda strange, but
If you want me to be fully honest, I think Jadarian Price, his role and his outlook, how he approaches football, I don't think it changes literally at all when he goes to the NFL.
what do
I
you
think
mean?
he's gonna I think he's gonna supplement the backfield on offense, and he's gonna be playing special teams.
Yeah, maybe if the, like, Broncos take a shot on this one, they could just pair him with, like, RJ Harvey being, like, the full-time receiving back.
Yeah,
That
I
could be
mean,
interesting.
they re-signed JK though, right?
Yeah, they did, but you know how that
Yeah,
goes.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that has that need is everywhere in the league right now. A guy to supplement the backfield and be a big part of the special teams.
Just a
I
guy to
just
take
don't know.
well, good.
I don't know how highly you draft for that need though.
Yeah, I mean, they'd end up being like a day 3 probably. I think all the
Yeah.
like, I think I even saw somebody say that they have 0 running backs going round 2, so I think all these guys are gonna be like especially after the first couple, it's gonna be like round 4 or more, and that even could even be priced too for all we know, but I'm sure he'll probably go a little higher, and then the rest will probably fall in line, but
Well, and we'll talk about these other positions a little bit more, obviously, but with the depth at receiver and edge, I could see no running backs in the second round. I very very easily could see that.
yeah, for sure.
So
It's just not
we did.
super
Sorry.
stellar, like and everybody's rankings are, like, all over the place, like, I had a hard time even picking some of these guys out. Uh,
Yeah.
I had 2 more, uh I was I was thinking like Mike Washington out of Arkansas. I
Hmm.
really liked him. Obviously, like this is like a lofty comparison, but he plays in a way like Derrick Henry would play, and he's built like him too. Had a sick combine, and he ran a 4.33 at 223 pounds. But he can like really run hard up the middle. His issue is he takes time to get up to top speed, but like once he's there, he can really hit through, which is like a super Derrick Henry thing. And I'm not saying he's gonna be like Henry, but that's the type of guy you're getting. Uh, you
How
get any Mike
fluid
Washington watch?
how fluid that guy's able to kind of navigate what develops in front of him blocking wise.
Hmm.
I don't care that much about speed. I mean, I do.
Right.
It's a big thing, and that's probably why he is going to end up being a lower pick. But he does have a knack for that. I just with a little bit of film I watched and going through that prospecting profile, great change of direction. He's just able to read blocks really well and see what develops and work with that. And then also he very easily gets through run support corners. And I did see he has a fumble issue as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of a fumble issue, and then just needs to be uh, have a consistent grit. Was something I saw was noted as well. I thought that's absolutely noteworthy, maybe a little bit. But yeah, his grade was actually a 6.24, which is only marginally underneath Jadarian Price.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to put him a little higher too. I just wonder how often that type of player can work because, like, he takes some time to get up to speed, but like once he's there, like he is fast and he can run hard and
Yeah.
run through tackles and do all this stuff. But I feel like more often than not, those types of guys don't because you have to give them a lot of carries and like wait for them to hit a home run. It's just tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And for context as well, I don't think I brought it up. Emmett Johnson's NFL prospect grade was a six flat.
It's not as good.
No, and I was kind of shocked he was you had him high, because
Yeah.
he's actually tied with the last one we're going to talk about as well at a six flat.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
don't think this last guy was I've seen some like some positive, some not positive, and I've seen some people talk about so the last guy was like Nicholas Singleton. And he's kind of like up and down on all these rankings, but the biggest issue is that he seemed to like get worse. He had like a really impressive like freshman year, and then developed like a vision problem over the next couple of years. And a lot of people are a lot more interested in his counterpart. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Katron, correct? Katron Allen, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I think he's like pretty quality in the receiving game and is decently on like picking up blitzes and stuff. And I think there's a little bit there, but I don't know. A lot of people seem to be torn on him.
yeah. It's funny. I talked about how well Mike Washington does with like kind of working with what's in front of him and stuff, and it's literally the exact opposite I saw noted with Nicholas Singleton. He just doesn't let things develop. Below average vision for lane development. They do have speed as an upside. A lot of people are talking about his speed. He's a pretty quick guy. Few explosive plays in his career to show for it though. That's
Yeah, that's something I heard too, and I wonder if how real that is, or if that's just like matter of fact. But he
yeah.
I think he only had a few his last season. But.
And that's a situational thing too. I don't know how much stock I wanna throw into, "Well, this guy just can't explode for 70 yards consistent," or can't
Yeah,
can't find a way to do it.
I don't worry about that too much, at
Yeah,
least anymore.
it's worthy of calling out though, with given the fact that if you're gonna have a pro you call out and there's a con side to that pro, might as well call it out. So
Yep.
I can see why that's noteworthy, but not a whole lot to say for the bottom end of this list.
Yeah, and there were other names listed, like, if we just go on, like, the profiles here, I've seen a lot of people talk about, Jamari Taylor and obviously Katron Allen and others. I didn't get a good look at them. I've also seen Jonah
Mhm,
Coleman getting a lot of shouts, so I could see him. I think I've seen him a little bit higher on a lot of people's lists too, but I know
mhm.
the PFF board, I think, has him, like, 4th, I think, something like that. But yeah, I didn't get a
Heck yeah.
great look at him. Any, other running backs you wanna talk about or no?
No, that's all I had.
We could move on to receiver. There's like a big 3 at receiver here with, like, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, and then Jordan Tyson, I think. Who's your guy there?
Yeah, I think I like Carnell Tate.
I do too.
Um, it again, situational. It's really kind of your
Right, he's a
flavor.
specific guy too.
Yeah, it's really kind of your flavor. He ran a 4.53 40.
I saw a little crying over that. I don't really care about that.
I don't really either,
It wasn't too much anyway.
necessarily. One thing I will say about this, and I don't mean for this guy to catch any sort of strays. Um, a lot when I was going through this guy, and I don't think this is who the comparison was on their prospect profile, but I for some reason Zay Flowers kept popping in my head, and I'm
Really?
just like, well, because lacks ideal build to be a wide receiver one. Um, a big con is giving clues. Apparently, just defenses are able to read, because of like kind of clues he gives in his pads. You'll see if he's about to do a stop route or a comeback.
Mhm.
That can kind of be a big thing. But with like the build and then like kind of some of the other things, I don't know. I do like him though. I think he's absolutely a wide receiver one. I've stopped worrying too much about builds for wide receiver
Yeah.
because we've
And
seen
I'm
all kinds of do it. All kinds of guys do it now.
sure. And, like, uh, he's also, like, got a big enough like, he's 6'2", like, that's plenty. He's just skinny. He's the 192, obviously, that doesn't
Yeah.
help. I think he plays a little bigger. There's times where he has, like, he struggles to, like, get off presses and stuff, but, like, that's something he'll grow and get bigger and build into his NFL body, and I think it's not gonna be a
Yeah.
problem because I think he, like, fries the sidelines. I love seeing this guy, and, like, I see this guy as, like, a he's not as fast, but like a Nico Collins, the way I think he's really good with like catching away from his body and winning in like contested catches situations and like he's a little skinny and he struggles there, but I think he might give away his routes a little bit, but he's also really, really good at like coming back to the ball. That's the one thing I noticed the most watching him is that he will beat you to the ball. He'll be there first. And that's just something that's really hard to like coach out of receivers. And I just think that that's a pretty clear sign that he's going to end up being like a successful one, which he can kind of comp to like Marvin Harrison in a way where he's like big but doesn't play big. So, like, I could see where you get worried about that, especially coming from Ohio State as well, but, I like him. I also think he's great in scramble drill. My favorite thing about watching, like, film over this guy is that you don't often get to watch receiver film where they actually have a competent quarterback, and for most of the season, saying was he put some dimes on him, put him in the best position to succeed, and he looks awesome. I,
Yeah.
uh I don't think he's, like, above and away or whatever these other guys, but I do have him as my one because I think he's gonna be that X guy that you want.
Yeah. And I'm glad I'm able to maybe pinpoint what I was trying to say a little bit better, and I'm glad you called out that with this it's more of a um like It's not a height issue. It's size in terms of
Yeah, like a Devonta Smith thing.
yeah. Whereas I hate when people, and this is exactly why I don't like it when people say build,
Mhm.
because
It's just so
they you
broad.
exactly,
Too
and they
neat.
use it. They will use it interchangeably, not interchangeably, but they'll use it for two different guys that have completely different builds at the same position, and use it as a negative for both of them. Well, yeah, maybe this guy's build isn't
Mhm.
ideal because maybe he's a little smaller, but he makes up for that in speed.
You can make builds
Receiving,
work, man. Like, there's different types of builds
exactly.
for all positions. Like, even Wan'Dale Robinson's like a buck 50 out here making 20,000,000 a year. Like,
Receiver especially, but really any position. It's a ratio of the makeup of the entirety of the position.
mhm.
It's just you really just want that player that fits the ratio. It's not, you don't even have an ideal ratio. You might to fit a specific scheme, obviously, but
Right.
like you just want a guy to fit a good ratio to fit that position. Bringing schemes out of it, and Tate, I think, checks those boxes, whereas, like, I think Zay Flowers still does too, and, I'm actually glad I used that guy, with the build comparison thing, because that's an exact opposite problem. Dude's
He
what,
does lose a little
5'10"?
bit from his build, but
Yeah.
he's good in his role. That's
But he makes up for it in other ways, and
mhm.
people will use that against Tate, and they'll use it against Zay Flowers, and use the same build, and it's you're right, it's just too broad. I'm glad that I was able to talk that out, but I do like him. He's graded at a 6.71, which is tied with Jeremiah Love. So maybe that actually is a pretty good grade, and maybe I'm just biased and thought Jeremiah Love was going to be a little higher than that, but yeah, he's my one. And you know, I I know we're not calling out fits, and I'm even thinking specifically
Hey,
with
man,
receivers.
he's gonna be top 10. Where's he going?
No, 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 no. I'm actually leaning into that. I think specifically with receivers, I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, I mean, they can go
Yeah,
anywhere. Like,
yeah,
everybody wants tons of receivers, so at any point, they could take
exactly.
one if they think they're the best on their board, and,
Yeah.
man, I wanna have a hot take for my next one, but I think I'm gonna be too scared to do it, so, uh, that would make my 2, Mekhi Lemon.
You don't
Uh,
want Mekhi Lemon to be your two, though.
why don't I want my why? Why is that?
Live your truth, because you were about to do a hot take, and you're like, well, I don't want to do the hot take,
No, I don't I
and then you
it's
named
too s
Mekhi Lemon your two.
what's up?
And then you named Mekhi Lemon your 2 after you didn't wanna make a hot take. Sounds like you
What?
did
Who you
sounds like
got
you
it?
did
Who's your 2? Who's your 2?
um, I'm gonna tell you, actually, before I tell you who my 2 is, um, I was reading, an article actually published and last updated today, March 18th, 3:01 PM. This is on NFL.com. Bucky Brooks, did this list, his top 5 2026 NFL draft prospects by position. So, I'll just give his top 5 since, we haven't even given our top 5. Some of these guys might not even be in our top 5. I'll just give his top 5 in full. Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Chris Brazzell, Malachi Fields, Denzel Boston.
Let's go. Let's go.
You were
I wanted
saying,
to make
Damon?
Jordan Tyson my 1 for sure. There was one thing holding me back, and that he's missed time the last 3 seasons with injury, like,
Yeah,
3
I don't
separate
like that.
injuries he's missed time, and that, like, I was so ready to come here and have the take that he's my 1, but I couldn't. I ended up dropping him to, like, 4.
Okay,
But
okay.
what do you
Interesting.
like about Tyson? I love Tyson, so I'm ready for it.
No, and that's not even necessarily what I was gonna get into. I thought that's where you were gonna put him. I thought that was the hot take you were gonna do, but,
Mm,
yeah, but
no,
yeah,
I wanted it to be 1. I was gonna make it spicy, but I had a different one thing in mind. Go ahead.
we'll actually we can segue, since we actually do have the same number too.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you do you have Tyson at 1 then?
No, he's my 3.
Oh, okay. Alright, well
He's
then
my
with
3.
with
I
Lemon,
just
I
thought
mean,
you
like
I
what's
knew
up?
you like Tyson. I thought you were gonna have Tyson at your 2, so that I was trying to elicit your hot take there, but it is,
Oh,
yeah. Uh,
what
what I do like about Tyson, though, is he, basically everything besides the injury issue, that
literally, he's good
yeah.
at everything. He like The only real weakness I've even heard from him is that he sometimes, like, rounds his routes off a little bit, which, like,
Okay.
honestly, once you get to the NFL, you kinda have to do that anyway, like, you're like, it's not Madden, you don't gotta run these, like, direct 90-degree angles, a lot of time it's just about, like, getting in the right spot on the zone, and, like, he's just such a fluid mover, he does it all, it just looks so natural to him, and he's just not struggling, and
Yeah, my thing with Tyson is he just really fits anybody that wants him.
yeah,
He can play and line up anywhere as a receiver and be and look like he's fit for that spot. He can sit in the slot, he can
yeah.
go on the outside. It's fine. Like just throw him out there, whatever you want to do with him. I would love to see this guy in a Ben Johnson offense. Just throwing that out there, but that's not going to happen.
He's fallen all the way to the bolts.
Hey, man.
Future bolt.
Yeah, that'd be
Future bolt.
nice. I actually would love that. I would.
Yeah, whatever. But, no, I know, I love Tyson too, he can do it all, he can catch contested balls, he like Tate, he's really good, like, away from his frame, he can stretch out and get those, like, circus catches, he improved on a drop issue that he had from 24, so seeing improvement's always good. He's super crispy runner, and then he's a pretty decent run blocker too, so, like, yeah, like, being completely versatile, being able to play whatever position you want him to, and then just looking like such a natural athlete. I like him too, and the only reason is because 'cause I'm scared of the injury stuff.
Yeah, and that's huge for me. Like calling out suffer knee, collarbone, hamstring. That was 2022, 2024, 2025, respectively. And that's missed games in every season from 2022 to 2025.
Yeah.
It's just huge. You can't ignore that. I mean,
On the bright side, like, a collarbone's probably a random thing, and
yeah,
then, like but then, like, the hammy and the knee both is kinda
it's
I
not
don't know,
great.
it's
I hope
scary.
that's not on one end, I'm like, I hope that's not on the same leg, but then on the other end, I'm like, I don't know. You kind of want one good leg.
Dude,
Yeah.
seriously, like, if it's on both, then, oh, man. At
Yeah.
least you'd be comfortable that the knee's probably pretty well healed at that point, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. Depending on where this guy slides, I really would love to see, and I know they'd made the Pittman move and stuff. I would love to see him with the Steelers because of the Hines Ward connection. He was coached by Hines Ward at
Oh,
Arizona
shit.
State.
God,
Yeah,
they
I
love
mean,
that bullshit too.
100% they do. So if this
They
guy
eat
just
that shit
slides
up
just
in
enough,
Pittsburgh.
I think he'd be perfect. I mean, look at the Mike McCarthy thing. It's hard to say that that wasn't because he's a Pittsburgh boy.
Oh my god. I did not
I
know
mean,
that about McCarthy.
you didn't know yeah, he's from Pittsburgh.
My god.
You didn't even you even just called
Sell the
out that they love that.
team.
You just called out that they love that bullshit, and you didn't even know
I
that
didn't I
part.
mean, they do
That's
that bullshit
awesome.
all the time.
They
Like, they
do.
brought in, like, they had Connor Hayward there for forever 'cause, like, I know he became, like, a quality player and whatever, but, like, body type, he should have never been there, and then they're like, "No, it's our guy's brother, and we're gonna go draft Joey Porter Jr.," and I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, but I know we aren't talking
he would be
fits and
sick on
stuff
this
like
team.
that, but yeah, I think it'd be cool, especially because, that kind of going into that situation, it's kinda perfect because you have DK and Pittman in their positions already. This guy can play anywhere.
Yeah, throw him in the slot, fuck it.
You already don't wanna overwork him because of the injury thing. Oh, DK or Pittman needs to take a couple snaps off. Oh, okay, slide over. I think it would fit. I think it would be a great fit for them, and, you're totally right. They love that bullshit, the sappy stuff, so let's get
And,
it done.
like, he is a super fluid mover, so, like,
Yeah,
you'd be best off putting him in the slot anyway. That's probably where you'd want him the most, in fact.
yeah.
But, speaking of players that are great in the slot, my actual receiver too, Mekhi Lemon, who, like,
Yeah, there we go.
literally everybody is comparing this man to Amon-Ra St. Brown. They say he's
Yeah.
like a clone of the guy. He said it at the combine. That's who he models his game after in that super questionable interview. And he's great off press, and he can play the sideline well, and, like, just like Amon-Ra, he can block really well, and like, I think as far as, like, the yards after catch guy, he's, like, the best one in the class for sure, which isn't, like, my biggest thing personally, which is why I don't have him at 1, but if that's your thing, then he should be.
He yeah, straight up, this is one of the closest comparisons I've like since getting into the draft. In my fandom, this is one of the easiest comparisons I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hey, he just looks exactly like him.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if you want Amon Ra, take
Just
lemons,
take
I
Mackay
guess.
Lemon, yeah, like,
No, I mean
you find yourself
literally,
yearning for a slot demon, yeah, go get him.
and it's so
And, like
funny.
go ahead.
I just wanted to make one quick comment that it's so funny that that joke, the whole "this guy walks so this guy could run" thing, it fits here so insanely because Amon-Ra was what, a 4th, 5th round pick or something like that, and then now
Yeah.
Lemon's looking at, like, definitely a 1st rounder and
Him and
like
JSN, like, JSN going late 1st round and then being elite is, like, the ultimate stamp. They're like, "Oh, okay, we're not scared anymore. This guy's amazing. We got it.
Yeah,
Good deal."
and then, I also love people, home running about JSN not being immediately elite, like his rookie
Yeah,
years, like, "Ooh."
three-person receiver room. Fuck off.
Right? Right.
Eat
Um,
shit. He's elite. Get over it.
yeah, and then I had Tyson at my 3, so that was my 3.
Oh,
So then was
it.
what
You did have to oh, okay, so we had the same
yeah.
1, 2, 3 then.
Oh, okay. I thought well, you said you ended up dropping into, like, 4, so I thought
Oh,
okay, so
yeah, I
you
did have him at 4 because yeah, no,
okay,
you're right, you're right, you're right.
so who's your 3?
Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay.
and, the hot take was that he was gonna be my 2. I think he
Okay.
and it's a little too spicy. Like I don't need to let all that out. I do have him at 3. I'd prefer to have him over the injury scare for Jordan Tyson, but I feel like he also is like a super. He's got great separation skills against like he can read zones pretty easily. He's good against like choice routes and man coverage. He the same way has great. He's not a big contested guy, but he can like grab the difficult grab catches outside of his frame. Um, I was shocked to find out that he wasn't much of a run blocker. Just based the way that the team is coached, I thought he would have been a little bit better than that. So like that is kind of a knock on him, but he also is seen as like a slot guy. Like he's only in a slot, but I think that's more JSN than anything because he mostly just did it like out of necessity because the other 2 receivers he had on the team were like both strictly outside guys. So he just made the most out of he can as a receiver. But I think he just like naturally like falls forward into the play and knows where to go. And
Yeah.
he's just the catch and release is so good. I really like him. I think he feels a little like Zay in a way. But
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Um, I actually, I had Denzel Boston next.
oh, did you? I like him
I
too.
did. I did. And, also, when comparing, like, a lot of lists I had too, I actually got sold on him a little bit more,
On
and
Boston?
if yeah,
Dude, see, I like that too because that really gets into like the preferences and stuff too because they're like opposite types of guys. So
100%, yeah, my thing is, I really love Puka, and I know a lot of people
he
were
got
kinda
comped to
comparing this
Puka,
guy to
didn't he?
yeah, he did, so I
Yeah.
that's probably why I'm drawn, to him, a little bit, but again, like you said, it's kind of a little bit of taste there. Now,
Talk about
one big
walking so you can run. By the way, like another like 5th rounder for Puka.
right, yeah, that's fair. Also another thing though that I don't know if people might view this differently than I do. GMs might view it differently. A big weakness that's called out is just that his production dipped whenever they got to stiffer competition.
I heard that too.
Yeah, so that can turn some heads. I mean, that's depending on where a GM was already kind of feeling about you. Bringing that into the equation can fully make him sell you off. Like,
Yeah.
it's not nothing because you're about to jump into literally a next level of the sport. I mean, when you were in this level and you had your different tiers, you know, it, you're not even in that level anymore, let alone a different tier, so
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I liked watching Denzel. there was a lot that I could really like. He's not like the fastest guy, and but he's really big. I worry that he's going to fall into like a Keon Coleman mold because I did hear that he has a bit of a issues when like he'll get decent separation in a route, but because he's just not fast enough, a lot of like more athletic corners will like catch back up to him, and I think that's why he's like falling off to like stiffer competition. So that makes me a little scared, and I think of that, and I see he's not like great off like press, and so I think he's like good enough to be a first round pick. I think there's gonna end up being like 6 first rounders in this one. And,
Yeah.
he has the same stuff. He plays like the outside X guy that you want him to. He just needs to get a little bit better at releases, and
Yeah,
but
and,
he has to make up for it, and I think he's got like shockingly good after the catch characteristics too. I think he like really like drives through players pretty well.
I think also kind of like a different way to describe that as well, and just to, add on to that is he's really good at tracking the ball, but it's, like, almost to a fault,
Yeah,
if you get what I mean by that. Like, he's, like, so focused on tracking the ball that what a corner can catch up to him or, it's like the speed
maybe he
kind
does
of.
it a little too quick.
Yeah, yeah, instead of he lets off that top end speed to get focused on to trying to track the ball, and you really need to still be trying to get that extra edge, and when he's already into trying to complete the catch mode when he really should still be booking it. So yeah, ball tracking can be a good thing, but absolutely could be a fault if 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 you're not worrying about the externals other than that. But yeah. You got anything else?
Not on Boston. I did want to bring up Casey Concepcion. That goes outside our 5, but I promised AJ I'd bring him up. And, he actually looks really nice too, and I do think that he has, like, especially in this class to, like, go somewhere in the first round this year. Another walk so you can run moment. I kinda comp him to, like, Josh Downs. He's not, like, the fastest guy ever, but he's really good after the catch, and he's really good at, like, finding the spaces in zones and just getting, like, quick burst underneath and opening stuff up, and I think he can find himself in a really good role like that. You watch him any?
A little bit. I know AJ's a big fan.
Yeah, he loves
I
him. He did admit that the other 5 should be above him, though, so
okay, okay. And I'm good call out because I think I agree. Since you got your call out, I'll get my call out. Shout out Malachi Fields,
uh,
who was on that. He was actually on Brooks's top 5 for NFL.
oh, shit.
But yeah, but that 40 was gross.
What was
Um,
it?
Let me see. 4.61.
Holy shit, that's not good.
Yeah, not good. But his prospect grade's 6.32, which is actually pretty decent. He's just,
Yeah.
he's not very fast. They compare him to Michael Pittman Jr. I love
Yeah, I
my
mean, he's
Notre Dame
six
boys.
four too, so, like, it's a little bit better than running it when you're little, so I think
Yeah.
Johnson had, like, a horrible 40 time last year or something,
Mhm.
little guy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that's a big deal for 40 time. If he's a good player, he's a good player. What's he like? Yeah, he
Uh,
a big guy? A big, like,
yeah,
X type dude?
yeah, for sure. I think he's a very capable receiver. I think he's really good. I wonder if he stayed an extra year because I think he could have gone to the draft last year. I wonder if he stayed to try and hopefully win the chip this year with Notre Dame. I wonder
That
if that's the
sucks,
reason
dude.
he's. Oh yeah, right. I wonder if that's why he stayed his senior year.
First
I don't
year of
know,
the
but
12 team, and
he's a
oh,
big dude. Some noteworthies here on NFL.com. Elite blend of size, strength, and high point talent. Notice speed's not on there. um,
hey,
just
I'll make it
call
work.
out a couple weaknesses. Just delayed release creates early traffic against the press, and yeah, speed is more build up than run by, which can actually be a positive as well. You do want to have the ability to be able to gain speed,
Right.
but yeah, I definitely think he also should fall out of the top 5 as well, and I agree. I disagree with Brooks
Yeah, I
including
mean,
him.
he might. He might also do like a Keon Coleman thing or something, maybe like a early 2 or something like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He separated wide receivers and slot receivers.
Wow.
Okay, I didn't see that. I
Wow.
was just glancing at it.
That's
Yeah. It was just to call it out since I've already called out the list. Slot receivers are Lemon at 1, Omar Cooper at 2, Zachariah Branch at 3, Casey Concepcion at 4, and then Antonio Williams at 5.
all I heard was Omar at 2. Thanks.
Uh, well,
Alright.
I think it's a good class.
I think so
I
too.
like it.
I haven't really dove deep into it. I'll probably do that a little bit more after the draft, but,
Yeah.
I really like the first round talent on these guys. I think there's a lot of variety. Usually there's people that's, like, getting forced into, like, an X role, but I think there's genuine X potential out there, which is great.
Yeah.
Don't always get that.
Absolutely. We're not gushing over a guy like we were with Marvin Harrison Jr. LOL. How'd that happen?
I've learned from my mistakes.
Right. But
That I mean,
there's a lot of talent
the
here.
light's on for him and whatever. I'm not giving up on the guy, but, like,
Yeah.
I did, like, basically guarantee he'd be an all-pro, so, like, whatever.
Like rookie year, I thought that dude was gonna be an all
Like,
pro.
"Whoa, bro, what's happening? No, it's okay, just wait." He had that one game in prime time, remember? He fixed it all.
Talk about the Thursday night football game.
Yep, he
The
fixed
one
it
where
on
he
Thursday
the
night.
one where he started terribly.
Yeah, that one.
Love it.
God.
Oh boy.
Alright, on to tight ends. I mean, you have Sadiq at 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. I was listening to Stay Hot talk about these, and they, 2 of them on there had Stowers above him, and it was because they're low on Sadiq a little bit. I
Hmm.
think that's crazy. I think that's a lot. I think, like, even if you the main takeaway is that Stowers has, like, elite, like, route running, and his separation ability is just, like, through the roof, but, like, I think he just is an incapable blocker, and his hands aren't as good either, and so I think you take both of those things out of Sadiq, and maybe you lose some, like, upside for somebody who is a guaranteed blocker. My only issue with Sadiq is I worry that he's gonna end up being like Pitts-like. Like, he's a really good blocker, but it's mostly against, like, the little guys, the corners and safeties and stuff, and he kinda struggles against the other things. And most of the highlights I saw was, like, him not lining up, like, in line, and he's more like lining up, like, outside in the slot and that receiver, and that's really good because you tend the with the formations, you tend to draw safeties and linebackers and stuff, but, you know, it's a rough fit inside unless you prove that, but I think you still can. You bulk up a little bit, like, he's only sitting here, 245, he can put on a little bit there too.
Yeah. Um, I I like him a lot. I actually think I even when you prospect wise put him on the level of like Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren last year. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, they
I
got him
think
here at
he's
14 on PFF.
I think he's gonna be sick. Um, I love we've seen a lot of tight ends kind of come into the league in the last what 10 years or so. It's probably getting a little bit more common that tight ends are really just kind of there's a lot of guys that are coming in as just receiving threats and
Yep.
they don't have a whole lot of blocking upside. And it's really nice to see, the three names I just called out in the last two drafts come in and they have both ends of it. And he's the same way. Also a lot of agility and acceleration after the catch with him as well. Just a big dude. Another call out here was surviving collisions with on catches and things like that. So I think he's a I love well-rounded tight ends. I do. I
Yeah.
have a Cole Kmet jersey.
He's your guy.
I yeah, I you gotta be able to do the job fully at the end of the day, and I think that's just I think he does the whole job just at a a a a good level and is just well balanced, and that's why I like him, above the pack.
Right. And it's good to have, and he's got more sure hands, and he's got the same frame stuff, and he does make crazy highlight reel plays, so at the end of the day, if he keeps doing that when he gets in the NFL, then cool. We'll see how Isaiah Likely works out, and Pitts with Tua, and
Yeah.
Sadiq with somebody, hopefully. And
I and I don't even feel, and you kinda spoke to this a little bit. I feel like it goes down from here pretty decently.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I heard from a lot of I mean, even on PFF, they have, Stowers over at 53 after the 14 for Sadiq. I think their main point is that they were lower on Sadiq and higher on Stowers, so then that kinda closes the gap. But I think the issue is that his hands just aren't as good, and but, like, the dude's, like, is super athletic and, like, he looks like he, like, falls forward really well, and he can find the zone easily. He converted from quarterback, which is crazy, and it's just you almost, like, project, like, more space to grow there almost in, like, a Deion Henley kinda way,
Yeah.
and, but I don't know, I not being able to block at all kinda just, like, how do you even, you can get Gadsden in the 5th for not even blocking at all. I know that's an outlier type situation, but still.
Yeah. Um, I yeah, 3 years I'm reading. He's just had 3 years at tight end. Um, weakness, has no special teams experience. I don't know if I'm gonna really
I don't need worried about that for a
that's
tight
not
end.
yeah, I don't really care
But
about that too much. Um, yeah. See, and I remember seeing this when doing a lot of research on Stowers. One here is ability to stalk and mirror as a positional blocker in the slot. I
yeah, I'm sure he's, like, better in the slot too because you gotta deal with, like, corners and stuff rather than linebackers.
yeah, that's okay. Never mind then. Yeah, that's fair. It's, didn't
Which is,
even.
like, a similar thing that Sadiq has going on too, but
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I personally think that there's this a steep, not a maybe a steep. Steep's a crazy word, I guess. But
I mean, I don't think that's super crazy. I don't think
I
anybody else thinks that high about the tight ends in this class.
I okay. I'll sit on it then. I think it's a pretty steep decline because of how one dimensional everything else is. I
Yeah.
think I
You
and
really are drafting depth if you're drafting to be, like, one thing.
yeah, and I think this is actually kind of a narrative I'm taking on the tight end position as a whole right now a little bit. We've propped up some tight ends in the league that are really, kind of receiving threats, and I think teams are realizing the importance of being a well-rounded tight end. I think it was like it seemed like people were diving into just worrying about the receiving threat from a tight end, and then very quickly everybody's like, "Wait, no, 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 you kinda do need to be
I
well-rounded."
I agree,
And
you should spend a lot of money on tight ends that can block. Very good take.
fuck,
Moving on.
I forgot. I was like, "What the fuck is
Hey,
he talking
fuck
about?"
you.
Oh,
Um,
Charlie!
hey, fast and can block, son. Pay that man 8 mil. Fuck it.
Shit.
24
Yeah,
mil, 24 milli.
I just yeah, I think teams
Yeah,
really value
and I'm
being more
honestly
than
like,
one dimensional
there's
guy.
other names here at tight end. Like I was looking into like a fucking Joe Royer, but I'm seeing a lot of
There.
places don't feel as highly on him. And then like Michael Trigg's like a weird thing. And then I've heard like some stuff with like Max Player from Ohio State, but I don't even like. We're getting pretty in the weeds at that point talking about those tight ends.
On the list I called out earlier, Max was listed as number 2.
Max Player.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
Royer and Stowers at 4 and 5. People can't really make up their mind about the other tight ends in this class, and I think that just speaks
you're
volumes.
right.
It
The same way about the running backs. The running backs are exactly like that. So
I really think that's
fuck them.
it's the same situation, I
Yeah,
think. I
draft a
really
bust.
think
See if I care.
so it's the bolts, baby.
No, 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 not a
So we're
Bolt.
not
That's a Bronco and a Chief.
we don't need a tight end.
Yeah, the Chiefs are gonna draft Stowers to replace, Travis Kelce.
Travis Swift.
Try yeah. You know the deal, the bigger breadwinner takes the name.
Wait until he realized DeAndre already took his girl.
Son, that's
That
terrible.
was stupid. Yeah,
I
that was
don't even
bad.
Oh, man. Oh my
Offensive
god.
tackles?
I say, you wanna talk about some offensive linemen? I think there's a couple of big prizes here, and that's the, tackle Francis, Maui Noah, and then I think people are really high on, Vega Ione. Don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, that shortened his first name. The guy out of a Penn State. I think people really. I mean, what do you think about any of them?
Yeah, I have Vega as my one.
You're like
Um,
O line one,
well, I separated them.
oh guard one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
IOL. Yeah, so, I did IOL rankings.
right.
So yeah, he's my one. NFL gives him a 6.4, which will become good starter within 2 years is their title of that one. Yeah, pretty solid. I though he's got your basic kind of guard build. Um,
He's a big MF.
yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I like him. I think like I think he from what I've seen, he's like pretty specific to like power based schemes. Like he doesn't move like laterally super well and doesn't do like agility based moves. So like you draft him if you go to like a power scheme, but like once he's there, he's going to excel. Like he's going to be great at it. So it's like super scheme fit. You don't care though because he's exactly what you want and going to be a great run blocker and he's going to really stuff D tackles and get job done.
Yeah. Um, I from a little bit I've seen, people are pretty well aware of scheme dependence, um, and that's fine. I think it's pretty well documented. People think he has a pretty high floor,
Yeah,
even given that.
I think so
Even
too.
if it's possibly outside of scheme, maybe a little bit, still a pretty high floor. Um, not super mobile, what others have said, and
Right.
from from what I've seen as well, not super mobile just because he's so freaking big.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you to give and take for sure. Like, and I'm not even
yeah,
knocking on him. Like, if like legit, if you run a power scheme, draft him top 10. I don't care. Like, that's
yeah,
it's gonna work. And I think in a weaker class, people tend to default to like offensive linemen too. So it's like all the more reason to take him. Like,
yeah.
I'm Maui Noah seemed like he has short arms. Apparently, is something I learned. But I do think it doesn't matter because he's got a super wide frame, which I think is the bigger deal. Like that was kind of the big thing for Will Campbell is that he had short arms and a skinny frame, and it just wasn't quite working for him. But I think it's different for him. For him, he
Mhm.
started 3 years. He was a team captain, super athletic, not like crazy explosive, but he's like fluid in his motion, and I think he's going to be a really good pro. I don't quite think he enters that like Panay Sewell generational type mold, but I think you are basically getting you're getting a good prospect for sure.
Yeah.
And he's my one for tackle. I think that's pretty common.
So, do you want to go down just all of our offensive line, or do you want to go?
Either way, we can just move on to tackles if you want. I only was just bringing those two up because those are the two
Yeah.
that seem like home runs, the like road
Okay.
trips or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, we can just group it all together because I kind of agree with you that that's the outlook. Spencer Fano um looks pretty solid. In fact, I've even seen a lot of people say that he's probably the more guarantee at tackle. I
Yeah,
think that's kind
I've
of
just been
debated.
seeing whether or not people think he can make it at tackle. I think he was
Yeah.
a short arms guy as well,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I just looking through a couple different sources here. They're graded very similarly. Malagoa at 6.48, Fano at 6.44. They do have Fano as
pretty
tackle,
good.
but yeah, I
That's
mean,
just the only thing is the concern is like you just don't know if he makes it at the position, then whatever, you get a great guard if that's the case, no big deal. So I think that's another thing that's just like, you may as well take him because you could
the
use both.
thing that the thing that sucks about that too is he has experience at both tackle
Yeah,
positions,
played for 3 years or something.
yeah, so it's like that's the thing that really sucks because a lot of times you'll have like a great tackle, a great left tackle that maybe has never taken any snaps at right tackle, or and maybe you wonder about flipping him. Is that going to work out? This guy, you would at least have film on both sides, but you don't know if he's physically able to really fit the position at the next
Right.
level. So,
And Maui Noah
um,
plays right as well, but I think he also has some left experience, so no big deal. So
yeah,
hopefully. Uh, just a second. Then I also Caden Proctor is another like strength guy. From what it sounds like is there was a guy that the Browns drafted and he just feels similar to I can't remember who it was, but he's just like a big guy, basically suffers from big guy stuff. Try to see if he can slim down so that he can take on the more slender rushers and go from there.
yeah, and he splits the difference of the last two. He's a 6.45 prospect grade. They're all graded pretty similarly.
No.
Um, he yeah, it just another massive dude. So obviously they're linemen, but
Right. I mean,
just
they're all gonna be pretty big, but he's the biggest one, I think.
yeah,
They 352, 6'7".
Jesus, yeah, and I mean, the prospect profile just put massive frame. I mean, because he's
It's true.
just
He's a big fucking guy. I
just huge. Able to cover and engulf his second level targets, adequate early quickness to execute move blocks, like a lot of high upside with this guy. A lot of things he does really well. But yeah,
Then I had a couple more tackles. Monroe Freeling from Georgia and Blake Miller from Clemson. They're both like lighter guys, so like these are guys that the Chargers can start looking for. But if so, so it's the opposite stuff as the big body. But they're gonna be tackles, so they're probably not gonna. But
yeah,
Freeling, he is they say he's like got like high athleticism. He moves like almost like a tight end would, which obviously can end up being one of his weaknesses. I mean, he can get kind of bowled over. He's light, you know. But he's a fluid athlete. He can do a lot of pull stuff really well. And yeah, so far I don't think he really seems like he's a great like run blocker right away. I mean, that's to be known considering he's so light, but he's gonna get there, or he can get there if you want to take a shot on him.
yeah,
And then
no,
Blake Miller has
absolutely,
54 starts. He's played a lot, so like you can get a lot of high IQ pro ready play stuff out of him too. He has a rough technique. So
yeah, no, for sure. And you probably grouped him in with the rest of 'em. I didn't hear if you specifically called out any centers.
Oh, I didn't no, I went, like, interior offensive line, and then I didn't
Yeah,
just mainly got guards out of it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
find
I just did.
any nice centers worth looking at?
Really the only one I think that people have kind of been talking about that's noteworthy was Connor DeLu,
I
out of
see him sitting
Auburn.
at 80. That's pretty rough. Sorry if you
Yeah,
need a center, boys.
yeah. NFL comparisons, Zach Frazier, um,
Dog.
yeah, and then
Draft him.
first, uh, uh, unfortunately, like a lot of the strengths too are kind of like that he can build into something. Should continue filling out his frame as a strength. And it's
You'd
like
hope so.
you can't put the word should in a strength. I don't think. Well, it should happen. It's like no, strength is supposed to be like this happens. But um yeah, early draft entry and 2025 ACL injury limited his career snap count for that guy though. So um yeah.
I also mentioned, there was one we didn't have on the list, but, I did mention, Chase DeSantis, I think is his name. He seems
Mm,
like a really balanced guard. He can work well with, like, agility, and then he can also, like, last a while in blocks and really stick and hold on for, not only, like, have good technique, but make it last a while. I think he can be really good, probably end up being, like, a round 2 guy, but
mhm.
could use that versatility on the Chargers, and then Emmanuel Pregnon on Oregon is the guy that I didn't bring up. He had like a sick combine, uh, super durable, super bulky, big. He's 24, so like
Yeah.
if you draft him just for his rookie contract, basically, and see how it goes. But
Yeah, 'cause yeah, I mean he's amongst everybody else. I mean, comes in with a grade at 6.34. I mean, it's a fine grade. And I think that's a lot of the downside here. I haven't scrolled that far yet. I guarantee it's the first weakness listed is the age. No, actually.
Could
In
be.
fact, they didn't bring it up.
That's
It's
crazy.
not even not one of his weaknesses.
That's
I
wild.
I wonder if people are kinda just starting to get used to guys coming in a little older now because of NIL, and
Yep.
I wonder if people are just bracing for that to be the norm.
Yep, and you'll take it too. I guess you plan on like you get him through like if you get him as a second rounder, then like he'll be extending at like 28, and then you can give him like a 3 year to 31. Then I guess that's not
Yeah.
super bad. And linemen last a while, so
Yeah, for
not the
sure.
worst thing.
Bears still have Joe Tooney.
So, anybody else you want to talk about here?
Not really. I was really diving into the receivers a little bit. That was probably the group I had the most fun with here.
Me too. I like
Mainly
my receivers.
because of the fact that there isn't the obvious guy. I think a lot of people are trying to make an obvious guy, and it's just not there.
Yeah, I've heard a
Um,
lot of differing opinions on that too. I've seen a lot of Makai Lemon ones. I've seen plenty of Carnell Tate ones, and the occasional Jordan Tyson hot take. They fear no injury.
yeah. I don't think that's nothing.
You'll
I
see.
think
I mean, we'll
yeah,
no. I feel like that'll be somebody that, like, doesn't get hurt his rookie season and has a crazy season, and everyone's like, "See?" And then maybe he gets a couple of next couple of years.
yeah,
But not to wish
yeah.
ill will on the guy. I'm not praying on his downfall, but
Never dat.
I would never pray on the downfall of a future Charger or Bear.
They were gonna say I would never pray.
For one, I would never pray. Think the last time I prayed was, when I was begging God to not let the Patriots go undefeated. It worked.
It's for the it's been
Oh God for like 2 years, bro.
hasn't been that long then, kinda.
Oof.
Damon's gotta go get right with God.
No, whatever. You need to get right with me.
Right. Oh, boy. Next week, we are moving on to the, defensive prospects.
Can't wait. They look
I
a lot better than the offensive prospects,
I actually
honestly.
kinda agree, man, yeah.
Dude, the
Receiver, I'm gonna have a
receivers
lot of
carried this, man. And
oh, yeah.
offensive line looks really good this year in the first round, but I always wonder if that's just by default.
We mentioned that it really kinda is just one guy for quarterback, running back, and
Tight end, probably.
tight end, yeah,
Yep.
and that's, like, the
And
3
then probably
big
like
groups.
tackle and guard. I mean, there's probably other
Low-key kinda. We
no,
did a
I guess
little
there's
bit.
enough tackle that you're probably feeling pretty good about it, but yeah, it's a rough offensive class. The receivers are kinda carrying it a little bit. Defense is gonna be great. We got a bunch of edges, we got some corners,
Edge.
we got plenty of different candidates for, like, the best player in the draft that we wanna talk about. I'm super excited. I might come with Fitz on this one too.
Fuck yeah.
We'll
Edge, necessarily doesn't carry that because every other group is actually still pretty good. I
but it
know
is
that
pretty good, man. I mean, I guess Reese isn't
yeah.
really an edge, he's more of a linebacker,
Oh,
but yeah.
depends on what you're running. Well,
Hmm.
I would not not edge, I
Hmm.
guess, you know what I
No,
mean.
I know what you're saying. He does a
Um,
little of both. I know it's been a big topic on, like, what he plays. I've just heard more people say he's a linebacker, and PFF has him at linebacker, and I just feel like it's probably he's 20? Holy shit, dude.
yeah. Oh, actually,
Future Jet.
shout out. I actually kinda meant to bring this up when we talked about him earlier. Did you realize Jack Sanborn's 25?
What the fuck?
Yeah, 25.
It's a young free agent.
Young as hell!
Hell yeah, dude.
Like,
Bears signed
what?
a goat at linebacker to pair with Devin Bush.
I mean, he might turn 26 before the season
Probably
starts,
will.
but that's still young, dude. I
We will
mean,
not be
we were
talking about it then.
we were just talking about 24 being an old
A
rookie, and it's like,
fossil of a man, yeah.
yeah, and it was like, this guy's 25, he's going on a second contract.
Crazy.
But
Isn't
yeah,
that crazy to think when people are like, I mean, like, Jaden Daniels was 24, I think, when or maybe 23 when he got drafted, and, like, Lamar was like 20 or 19 or whatever bullshit. Dude was
Yeah,
12 years old when he got in the NFL.
it's crazy. Oh boy. Well, we'll get that defense side of the ball worked on for you next week, and
Yep.
yeah,
Thanks for chopping.
chop shop, peace.